Hi everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Michael. You're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we're going to be talking about new comics. So, in case you haven't heard, the first issue of the new Marvel Star Wars comic book line is actually out. In fact, they're on to issue number 2, and Darth Vader has begun. So that means that Dark Horse no longer owns the rights to the Star Wars comics. Originally in the 70s and early 80s, Marvel did own the rights. And then I think in 1985 the rights expired. No one was really interested in Star Wars anymore by that point, so they gave them up. And then Dark Horse picked it up. And Dark Horse did a very good job for the time that they had it. They really brought Star Wars into the limelight, beginning with Dark Empire was the first one they did. And that was an amazing comics, one of the all-time classics.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best that they've ever done.
And Dark Horse was actually known for having more mature titles. They did a lot of the RoboCop versus Terminator, Predator versus Aliens, and they had lots of success with Predator, Aliens, and Terminator, so they said, okay, Star Wars, another movie franchise we can have. So for the last 2 decades or so, they've been doing it. But now that Marvel owns Lucasfilm, of course, they want to keep it within their own company.
Yeah. So now we have Star Wars number 1. This is the first issue that they released. It was the number 1 selling issue of January 2015. It just came out
for all comics.
For all comics, it's really good. It has a very good old original trilogy sort of feel to it. So it's not as mature maybe as the Dark Horse ones, but it kind of gives you that nostalgic feeling of going back and seeing all the characters. It takes place right after episode 4 as well. So also Luke is wearing his yellow jacket from the end of the movie, which we never see again. So that's kind of cool to see in a comic form. Yeah. It has a lot of the really cool action scenes. You get Chewbacca with a sniper rifle shooting at Darth Vader and him using stormtroopers to protect himself. It was really cool. It was really good. And then after that came Star Wars number 2. It's the same sort of feel, and it keeps going with the story, but you get to see more of the Empire's control over the galaxy and stuff, which is pretty sweet.
You see, it fleshes out the sort of in-between episode 4 and 5 universe in a way that's a lot more cohesive than the original Marvel comics, where it's just here's the adventure of the week type thing. Yeah. And this one, it seems like more thought has been put into it.
Yeah, there's also some stuff you have to take with a grain of salt, sort of, in that it takes place between these 2 movies, but we're not supposed to, none of this actually affects it. Yeah. But for instance, in these ones, you see Darth Vader and Luke fighting for the first time, and then Darth Vader looks at the lightsaber that Luke has, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, this was mine. How did
this guy get it? He doesn't realize Luke is his son, or that he's Luke Skywalker, but
he starts to get a hint now, so it's kind of, it leads into some stuff that you don't really see until the next movie.
That's what I mean when I say it feels like it's been thought out more in terms of they know, because when they were writing the original Marvel one, they didn't know what Empire Strikes Back was going to be. They didn't know the plot, right? They were just making it up as they go. Yeah. But now that we have the films already done, you can sort of do an arc that makes sense.
Yeah. So that leads into, now in February, we finally got Darth Vader number 1. This was one of the most pre-ordered comic books of all time. There was 300,000 pre-orders for it, which is ridiculous. It had so many variant covers. I was just at the store when I picked this one up, and there was $40 for these variants and stuff. They were really popular. It sold really quickly too. It was hard to find any.
So this will probably be the top-selling comic of February.
Maybe even of the year, to be quite honest. I wouldn't be surprised. It's really cool. It's really long, actually. It's surprisingly long. But we get to see a lot of Darth Vader behind the scenes, sort of. He
between him and the Emperor and stuff like that.
He also, you see the part where he goes to Jabba the Hutt to hire bounty hunters, to hire Boba Fett in the first place, which is really cool. And when he is talking to the Emperor about going to Tatooine, he has kind of a bit of a cringe,
I gotta go there.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense to me in some sense. Where why didn't he ever find Luke on Tatooine, and why didn't he ever go there to look? And it's I think he just has this emotional
try to avoid it.
Yeah, it's sort of a dark part of his past that really want to go back to and be reminded of his humanity, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and you get to see him kick Jabba the Hutt's ass, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. The one thing I found that's interesting about that is because Darth Vader, although he is the villain, he's the protagonist, and it's told from his point of view. So even there's for each issue in all these comics, there's a title crawl.
Yeah.
And the title crawl for the Darth Vader one is oh, these evil insurgents have caused the glorious Empire's weapon to be destroyed. And
Yeah.
blah. Like, it's told from the Imperial perspective.
Yeah, and the peacekeeping of the Death Star. It's
Yeah.
like, what? Also, Princess Leia #1 is going to be coming out, I think, this month as well.
That's a miniseries.
Yeah, so that'll be cool to see as well. See where they're going to go with that.
Yeah, so look for Princess Leia in the coming weeks, and Darth Vader and Star Wars are going to be ongoing series every week. So if you guys haven't picked them up, please do so if you can find them. The Star Wars, I went to go buy my own copy.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. It was
Yeah.
sold out.
Because it's sold so well, there's going to be second printings.
There
though.
will
Don't
be
worry,
second
you'll
printings.
get another chance
Yeah.
to pick them up.
But I would recommend it if you guys have read them. Let us know what you thought of them, whether you like them or dislike them, whatever your feelings are. And be sure to subscribe and like us. And we're on Facebook now, so you can follow us there. We post some exclusive videos and photos and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you guys next episode.